joining us today. We are graced with one of the undisputed stars of the Sydney Olympic Games, swimming legend turned entrepreneur, Michael Klim.
Thanks for having me. Graced, I don't know, I love that term.
You love
I've been graced with anything.
So you've obviously gone from water to land.
Yeah.
Life is still as busy and crazy as always.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about balance, that word balance.
Well, balance is pretty hard to achieve, but I think for me, there is a few, not necessarily non-negotiables, but things that I go to get that balance. So exercise is key, being outdoors, getting in the ocean, spending time with my kids, and just being present. So like depending on what I'm doing, trying to be present right now, or, you know, I think it's just, you know, there's all different dimensions of wellness, and I try and tick as many of those boxes as possible.
You know the deal, 17 years and change to the day from the greatest race at the Olympics.
Yeah, you're going to get that in, aren't you? I've got the air guitar of the day.
Is still swimming a little bit as a matter of interest?
Absolutely. For me, swimming is very meditative these days. It's well, even though the phones are waterproof, I still don't take it in there, and it's just my time. And, you know, I swim 30, 40 minutes, just, you know, it's my solitude time.
But at speed, Zoe, at great speed.
No, not at all.
Now it's leisurely.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's dog paddling now.
It's like the Queen Mary.
You know, I've been a big fan of your fragrances for ages, and your range of amazing skincare.
Thanks.
What's the inspiration behind the new
Well,
range?
the deep blue is actually a. I've been fascinated by free diving this year, and also and the deep ocean. So this is a little bit more mysterious, a bit more sophisticated. The original Aqua Beyond was more of a day-night fragrance. This one was, we had a bit of fun with it. I had to dive off a cliff and go deep into the ocean, and got creative, but there was a price to pay, unfortunately.
Well, tell me about that campaign.
Well,
you just shot.
Yeah, so we shot in 3 or 4 different locations, but we had to actually create diving from a cliff. So I was diving from a platform and at great speed, and unfortunately misjudged a photographer that was standing on the platform.
Is that right? Here we go.
Yeah.
He's leaping off the cliff. Whack.
Going pretty quick there.
Cut to a nice pool in the studio. So, you came out with a lump on your head, which is rather fitting, because go ahead and tell the rest of the country your nickname back before you were...
Well, when we first met with...
Goodness gracious.
When I first met Ed, I was actually known as Lumpy, and I was known as Lumpy because I was quite chubby.
I'm lumpy now.
I'm turning lumpy every day, but yeah, I lost that nickname, but Ed kindly reminds me of that every day.
Yeah, he's kind of like
that. Every time. Great range of stuff. Before we go, water safety, really important part of your work. With so many kids, I'm sure they're pretty handy swimmers, but for the rest of us with summer coming?
Absolutely. Obviously, it's still alarming that the drownings are still going up year by year, and it's simple things, you know, obviously what you're making sure you have a pool fence, never letting your kids swim alone, you know, making sure that they have swimming lessons. It's so simple.
Did you throw your kids in the pool?
I've got a swim school, and we actually have infant aquatics from the age of 6 months. So you can get your kids water familiarised very early on. So water safety is key. So, but make sure that's...
Hook me in.
Absolutely.
Benji will jump in though.
Hands on. You've got to be in there with them.
And when you jump in, make sure there's no photographers under the surface.
Exactly. Open your eyes. That's a key.
Good to see you, Lumpy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're looking like you could swim 100 in no time at all right now.